everybody, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm doing my back to school Q&A, which I think I've done for a couple years now, which you guys all seem to like. So I asked on Instagram on the new questions feature. Some people hate the questions feature. I think it's brilliant. So yeah, I asked for some questions on there and I think I screenshotted them all. Let's just go through with all these questions. So the first question is, do you have any advice for going back to school and not having many friends in your class? When we first joined the school, we were in our forms in all of our lessons, so I got to know the same people who were like sitting near me and who had the same last name, you know, that kind of thing. But then halfway through year 7, we got split up and we got separated into sets, which was then like, oh god, now I need to make new friends because there is no one, literally nobody, who was like in my form, who sat near me and who I knew was in my set. So I had to completely make new friends. Going into school and being in classes without your friends, it's a bit horrible to begin with. Like, I would walk to the lessons by myself and I would just like, when we had to get into pairs, I'd just like ask the person next to me. But what you need to do is just try and find the people in those sets who seem to be like you, have a similar personality, and just try and join in. I know it's scary to ask like, oh, can I go in a partner with you? But more likely than not, they're probably going to say yes, especially if other people don't have friends in their sets, because it happens. So just try and be confident. I know it's hard. I was scared to do it for a long time, but eventually I did, and I made some pretty good friends. It was like science and maths I had to make new friends in because I just had no one. That's all I can say, is try and be confident and literally just ask people if you can work with them, if you can sit with them. If you have a seating plan, try and get to know the people who you're sitting near or on the table with, because that will help a lot. And yeah, just try and be as confident as you can. Okay, the next question is tips for year 11. Now, I do actually have a whole video talking about GCSEs in general, which I did touch upon like year 11 stuff, so I will leave a link to that down below. But one of the main tips I would say for year 11 is don't stress too much. I know it's really like easy to say don't stress, but overall stressing is just gonna make you feel more stressed. I know, like, it's a weird thing. If you don't stress about it, your head's going to be a whole lot clearer. You're going to be able to focus a lot more on revising, on taking in everything that you're doing at school. So that's one tip, don't stress. Like, they're just exams, and if you do really bad, you can retake them if you need to. You might do better than you think. And for me, I tried not to stress. I'm quite a chilled person. You may have got that from my videos, I don't know. And I feel like I revised when I was in the mood to revise. I wasn't in the mood to revise, as in my head space was just gone. I didn't revise because I knew I wouldn't focus and I wouldn't learn anything. Revise a little bit every day, but if you've already done a bit of revision and your head's just not there and you're just not focusing, don't do it, push it aside. Maybe try again later if you can, or just leave it for the next day. But as long as you're still doing revision, like a little bit every day, that's what I would say, is just like have a clear brain. If you have a clear brain, you will do so much better. It will do you wonders if you don't stress. Like, I know it's so hard to say, but if you're like doing some work and you're stressing out too much, like take a break, go get a cup of tea and a biscuit and just give your brain a relax and try again later, or go ask for help and just take a break. That's all I can say. How do you find the right balance between everyday activities, like being at school after, yeah, that I did not read that right. How to find the right balance in everyday routine as a teen with school and activities. Okay, for me, I feel like for myself, I found a good balance. I know I have some people at school who completely disagree with the way I do the way I revise and how I did all of that stuff. It is all down to your own personal preference, how you know you work. For me personally, I knew if I stopped, like some of my friends stopped going to all their clubs, like outside of school, like swimming, dancing, all of that kind of thing. For me personally, I knew that if I stopped doing all of those things like my dance, then I would go crazy. Like, dance was a break. It was a time where I could go completely forget about exams and revision and just schoolwork in general. So for me, that was one thing I would say is, like, when you're trying to figure out a routine, plan in the days where you want to go to say if there's a club you want to go to, like you want to go do running, like put in when you want to do running, and then think about kind of the amount of homework you usually get, and try and fill in like a space for you to do the homework. So maybe you work best and you want to do your homework as soon as you get home from school, or maybe you work best like me and you want to do your homework at like 8:30 at night. Like, it all depends. Some people are morning people, they literally get up early to do homework. I could never do that. Like, literally just think how when you're most motivated, when you're most productive, plan in that time to do like your homework, because you want your homework to be a good standard. But then leave days free where you can go have fun. Like, try and leave a couple days free where you can go do stuff with your friends. There is 24 hours in a day. You can balance it to get enough sleep, do your homework, have fun, do your clubs. Like, it all does balance out eventually. You just need to get the right balance, and I feel like this last year I finally found that right balance, and it's made me really happy being able to do that. I have been so stress-free this whole year, and I've done GCSEs. Like, I honestly don't understand how I've been so chilled. Did you find it difficult when choosing your GCSE options? Originally when I read this question, I thought, no, I chose it fine. But thinking back, I really didn't. I changed my options. We had to pick our options by January, when we were like going into year 9, was it? Yeah, year 9. Had to pick like all these different things, and because I was in like the upper band, as our school called it, I had to do a language, which if you've been watching my channel for a while, you may now know that I dropped that language because that is something that caused me a lot of stress and anxiety, and we're not going to go into that now. To pick from all these different sections, I had to do triple science, then I had to choose a humanities, so geography or history. I had to choose a language, which if I was in lower band, I would have been able to do like a BTEC performing arts or business, that kind of thing. And then I got to pick like the fun activity. So we had to pick one that we really wanted to do, and then we had to choose a backup. So the one that I put down originally was media studies, and I put that down, and then I put drama as my backup. By January, I'd started going to dance and I was really enjoying it. So I went to my head of year or options person. I don't actually know who I went to. I just went to the teacher my teacher told me to go to, and I was like, look, can I change my option? And they were like, yeah, do you want to change to your backup? I was like, no. I decided I didn't want to do media studies and I didn't want to do my backup drama. I picked dance. I thought with it for a while, and in the end I was just like, I love to dance. I want to do GCSE dance. So I changed it, and so you can say I had some struggles choosing, but in the end I'm so glad I changed to dance. Like, just go with your gut instinct, and my gut instinct was do dance. You've got to choose your options soon, or you even just started and you're thinking about changing. Do it. Just go with your gut. If your gut is telling you to go do PE instead of food, go do PE. It's something you want to enjoy school, and it really helped me enjoy school. Dance was one of the highlights of my week. Next question is, how much do you revise on a weekly basis? Well, at the moment I don't need to revise, it's the summer holidays. But so during exam time I would probably revise. I would do a bit of revision every single day. Weekends I would do a little bit more because I had the whole day free, but I would say I would do like an hour to 2 hours in the evenings during exam season. But we were doing revision all day at school. It's not me like coming home and then having no motivation and just thinking, yeah, no, I'm just gonna do an hour. I was doing 5 hours of a revision a day at school, so by the time I got home, I was just like, right, I've done 5 hours. I only need to do a little bit. Like, other schools had exam leave. I didn't have exam leave. So people who were saying, oh, you only did like 1 hour. Yeah, I only did 1 hour, but I also did 5 hours. But when I didn't have exams, I didn't do any revision ever. Because what's the point? If you're like in year 9, don't revise unless you've got an exam coming up. If you've got an exam coming up, please revise, because you'll regret it if you don't. But if you're just like throughout the year in year 9, like doing a bit of revision, just chill. Like, you've got ages to your GCSEs, just chill, have a break, enjoy life. I feel like this is going to be a really long video. Okay, this next question is, do you have any advice for year 9? Advice for year 9, I would say, is relax. Year 9 was such a good year for me in the end, when I'd like sorted my life out and I had a lot of fun. Like, that's all I can say is, year 9, please don't worry too much. You've got 2 years until your GCSEs, a year until things start getting a bit harder. Just relax, think carefully about choosing your options if that's when you choose. I know some people choose in year 8, and just just don't worry, live life to the fullest. All I can say is just relax, because literally year 9 is a chilled year. Teachers aren't paying too much attention to you in year 9. Year 7, you know, you're just in, all the teachers have got all their focus on you. Year 10, 11, you've got exams, they're focused on you. Year 8 and year 9 is like the kind of forgotten year. So I would just say have fun. That's all I can really say for that one. What shops do you recommend for stationery? Alright, I have a personal favourite. I love Wilko's for stationery because it's cheap, it's pretty, it works. So that's my favourite shop, but I do also love like Paper Chase. They've got some such pretty stuff. Oh my god, I just realised I forgot something at my stationery haul and that's loaded. Oh my god, I'm really sad. Forgot to include in my stationery haul. I got a planner. I forgot it. It's because I've been using it so much. It's just been on my desk, I think. Oh no, 12. And it is so pretty. So yeah, Paper Chase is so good for buying stationery, but it is that little bit more expensive, but it's so pretty. So are you staying on to 6th form at your same school? So no, I'm doing photography. It's a BTEC, so you come out with like 3 BTECs, I guess, all in photography. When I went on the induction thing, I found the course really interesting. It all really interested me, and then on the induction day I really enjoyed that as well, and I kind of made friends with 2 people. I don't really know if you can call it friends, we met once, but you know what I mean. So yeah, I'm not staying at my same school because I'm not. Everyone who I've told I'm going to college, they're like, why? Like, you're relatively smart. I'm like, yeah, but I hate academic stuff. Like, it physically bores me and I hate it. I want to go and do something fun, something that I enjoy, and yeah, that's my reasoning. Next question is, how do you deal with the whole process of GCSEs? So, the whole process, wow, this could be a whole other video. You actually have a how I found GCSEs video down below. GCSEs, how did it start? Year 10. So year 10 was obviously like where it started, and I can't really remember. I feel like when I started doing GCSEs, like year 9, year 10, I was like, oh my god, I'm an adult now, like I'm doing GCSEs. Yeah, that, you get over that, you kind of forget you're doing GCSEs. Like, it came to like 2 weeks before exams and I was like, yeah, just chilling with life. And then everyone's like, oh my god, GCSEs. I'm like, oh my god, I'm doing my GCSEs. Like, how did this come about? Say what? Obviously, I've already said, like, I tried not to stress too much, but also I didn't move my life around. I just added in GCSEs to my original life. I just did revision whenever I could, really. That's kind of how I did GCSEs. I did whatever I could whenever I could. I don't know where I'm going with this, I forgot what to say. Teachers became nicer. I mean, they was like year 10, the teachers were honestly the stressiest I think I've ever seen the teachers. And it wasn't even exam time. Like year 10, they were like, oh my god, GCSEs are a year away, you all need to focus, like all this work now, yeah. And I was like, oh my god, shut up, it's ages away. And like everyone at that point was like, oh my god, it's a year away, be quiet, it'll take ages, it won't arrive. And the teachers are like, oh my god, do this, 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 and this, and it was stressing us out in year 10. And then it came to a year 11 and they were like, yeah, don't worry too much, just revise. And it was like, alright, last year you were telling us like, get this done, and now you're just like, yeah, whatever. Like, it was really weird. I think the teachers were just trying not to stress us out. It was a bit stressful, like before going into the exam. That is what I hated. It was like the queuing outside, and then everyone is like firing questions at each other. They're like, what is the size of an atom? And I'm like, oh, I don't know. Like, it was really stressful. Everyone was like, da 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 da. And right before an exam, I just want to stand there, collect my thoughts, just be calm. I'm a really calm person, if you didn't know this by now in this video. And everyone was like saying all the answers to these questions, and then I was like, I don't know that. I didn't know we had to revise that. Like, I was panicking because people, basically, the person in front of me and the person behind me queuing up were both in top set for everything, and I wasn't. And I was just kind of standing there, and they were saying all this fancy stuff. I was like, I have never heard of that in my life. I was panicking. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna know nothing. And then I'll go in, sit down at the desk, my heart will be like beating. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna die, I don't know anything. And then they'll say start, and then I'm like, oh god, turn the page, and I'm like, oh lord. That's how I can describe doing exams. Oh god, what have I done? That's all I can describe it as. The exams are over, don't think about them now. What am I don't think I'm even talking about the process of GCSEs now. Oh, let me shut the door. Oh, Sammy. I don't really know how to answer the question. I've really gone off topic. I'm so sorry. Okay, the next question is how to deal with fake friends at school. Well, I went to a girls' school and that meant there were quite a lot of fake people. Wow, that sounds really bitchy. I will say I haven't had a lot of fake friends at school, but I've known a lot of fake people at school, which is what I would probably say. Say you're like in your group of friends, I don't obviously know your situation, but in like your group of friends, there's someone who you think is being like fake or two-faced or something. Maybe what I would say out of experience is I would confront them about it and like ask them like, have you said this or have you done that, like that kind of thing. And if they completely deny it, then just be like, all right, just leave it like to simmer down a little bit. Like you don't want things to get too fiery. Maybe just ask a couple people like who are friends with them or who are friends with you, see if they know anything about this one person, like see if they're saying anything that contradicts what you know or what they've said, so that you can try and figure out like, are they lying, are they not lying, are they just pretending to be my friend, haha, fake friend. And yeah, like go from that. And then if you find out that really, yeah, they are being two-faced, they are being a fake friend, I would literally just don't do it on social media. Whatever you do, please don't. So many people have like said to me on social media like, oh, have you said this, blah, blah, blah. Like, please say it to me in person because I don't know your reaction when you say it to me on social media. Please say it in person, don't do it on social media because things blow out of proportion and then parents get involved and then it's all. So I just ask them at school, be like, look, I've been told you've been saying this, or I've been told this. Say that, see what they say. Again, they might actually admit to it. But in my personal experience, they haven't admitted to it, even though you have proof. And then just be like, look, I don't want fake people in my life because it's bringing me down. I want to be a happy person. And then just try and get them out of your life. Just be like, look, I don't want you sitting with us. If your other friends agree, then that's great. Try and remove them from your friendship group. I know it can be hard. If they're still friends with other people in your group, then just tell them and just be like, look, you can stay in our group, but I don't really want to have anything to do with you. That's happened to me before. Like, I'd heard a lot of things about this one person who was in our group and I didn't want it. So I was just like, look, whatever, you stay friends with them. I don't mind. Like there are people, I don't mind my friends being friends with people I don't like. Like, people have their different opinions on people. You just have to deal with it. So if your friends still want to be friends with this fake friend, just let them. In the future, they will see that really they're a bad person. Or they might not. It might be that they just didn't like you as a person. I don't know. Again, I don't know if I'm answering this very well. Yeah, like if they still want to be, the rest of your group still want to be friends with them, just allow it. Just don't have anything to do with them. I've done that, just take the high horse, it's fine, it's fine. Tips for English Lit and Language GCSE. Okay, not gonna lie, I can't remember the difference between them. I didn't even know the difference during exam time. It didn't work in my head. I can't register which is which. For the ones like the books, so like Romeo and Juliet, that kind of thing, is when you're reading it, take a little, what are they called? Sticky note tab, and pop it on and just highlight the word, the quote, and then yeah, you got it there. And every time you see a quote that you think, oh yeah, that's a good one, highlight it, label it. If you can't write in the book, grab a notebook and write down the quotes and who said it, and then just do that as you're gradually reading it, so then when it comes to exam time you recognize the quotes and then you can just quickly learn them, and then just keep going over them like a couple times a week maybe, and the night before the exam and the day of the exam. Like, that's what I did with them. Tip for like the books, like do that. And also Sparks Notes, I think that's what it's called. It's such a good website. For me, Frankenstein, I struggled to read. Like, it was hard, like the language was dodgy, I didn't understand it, so I used that. I used Spark Notes, or however you say it, I don't know, and it gave you chapter summaries of what happened in detail. So that really saved my life. Use that, it's a lifesaver. It basically has like every book that GCSEs do, I'm pretty sure, or A-levels. If you're doing A-levels, I guess that would help, I don't know. But most books that you're probably reading are on there. Like, it's got so much on there. They also do have quotes on there, which I did find some from because it's hard to go through a book and find quotes. For poetry, oh my god, I hate poetry. I just remembered poetry. Ooh. Mr. Bruff, he is a lifesaver. He is amazing. Mr. Bruff on YouTube, he created raps for the quotes. And if you know me, I am constantly like singing, rapping, all of that kind of thing. So learning my quotes through a rap saved me. Like, I was, right before the exam, I was like going through the rap in my head. I was like, yes, I know these quotes, so I could use those quotes in my exam. He did it for like Romeo and Juliet, I think Frankenstein, he did it for poetry. So just any way of learning quotes and bits about poems or the books, like, he has got you. He is saving your life. Language, 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 language. Lit is books, literature. Literature is the books and the poem. Language is the papers, I think. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. For language, I think, just practice writing. That's literally all I can say. Or read books. By reading books, your brain gets better. This is an actual thing. I'm not saying it right, but I know what I'm saying is true. By reading more books, your brain gets like more advanced and it learns better vocab or something. So by doing that, you're improving your English language, but also by writing lots and lots, like, and getting your teacher to mark it, that will help a lot. Oh, I just zoomed. Hello. What are the best highlighters? Well, I mean, last year I used the Stabilo. I'm sorry, I have to do that every time. Stabilo. Pastel highlighters. They were so good. I really liked them. They were pretty colours. Some people like fluorescent ones. I'm not a huge fan of fluorescent highlighters, I'm not gonna lie. They were really good, but for this year I've actually got the Zebra mild liners, which I know loads of people love, and so I'm just going to say those two because they are ones I have and they're cool. Do you find it easy or hard to fit in, and how do you deal with it? On camera, I seem this lovely, confident, bubbly person, which I am when you get to know me. So when I'm first meeting new people, I'm kind of an awkward person, like a bit socially awkward. So I would say to begin with, like, I find it hard to fit in, but then once I've got those friends, like, I find it really easy to fit in, if you get me. And I guess it depends on what it is, like the different classes, how I know people. So like when I first got split into sets and it was like my science and I literally had nobody, like I was by myself, I knew no one. I found it really hard to begin with. Most people knew each other from primary school, I knew nobody. I was the only one from my primary school who went to this school, so it was like, it was hard. Like, I knew nobody, so I really struggled to begin with, like trying to make friends. But once I did, like, it was really good. And yeah, you've just got to try and act confident, which is very hard. But I think over the years I can make myself seem more bubbly and confident even when I'm like really not feeling confident when meeting new people. But then I really couldn't. I would just sit there like, yeah, I hope someone comes talk to me. No one's gonna come talk to me, but I hope they do. Whereas now I'll like go over and actually try and make an effort. Before I was just too scared to. I was like, no, I'm just gonna sit here by myself. Everyone can go sit on a table, but I'll just sit on this table by myself and hope I'm working. That was my year 7 and 8 life. Shy young child who hated school. So yeah, I would say I used to find it very difficult, but now I find it a lot easier because I put more effort in, if you get me. So I feel like you just need to put the effort in, and if you put effort in, like, that will be, what's the word? You will feel the effort back. I don't know if that makes sense, but like, if you don't try, then you're not going to get anything back, but if you try, then you will get something back. Okay, the next question is how to deal with seeing your ex at school. Alright, well, obviously I can't really give personal advice from that because I don't have an ex. Most people at my school like guys, and I went to a girls' school. Okay, that's how I can put it. So most people didn't have to deal with that, and out of my friends, I didn't really know anybody who had to go through seeing an ex at school. I'm just gonna go from what I would maybe do, although I haven't been in that situation. I would say, I mean, obviously you're gonna see your ex at school. If you go to the same school, it's gonna happen. You're probably in the same classes because that's probably how you met. Just don't be spiteful. Try and just be welcoming. Like, don't give them a dirty look every time you see them. I mean, unless they did something really bad, then feel free to give them the shade because that is totally worth it. But like, if they haven't done anything wrong and you've ended on like not the best terms, but you've just there wasn't anything that really caused it, I would say just try and be friendly. Like, don't give them dirty looks. Just if you look at them, just give them a little half smile, you know, a little half smile goes a little way. They don't, like, it's over with, like, just leave it. It's over with, just deal with it now, it's happened, like, just move on, try and just live your life, have fun, and So when you see your ex at school, just be polite. Be polite, that's all I can say. I mean, it might be difficult depending on the situation, but if you can be polite, then it leaves people around you feeling less awkward, and it leaves both of you two feeling less awkward, because it can be awkward otherwise, and you don't want it to be awkward because you have to go to school every day for a long time. How did you stay motivated to revise for your GCSEs? Not gonna lie, I often lost motivation. Like, I'm not a very motivated person when it comes to revising. I would try and do so much to put off revising, and my mum would just be like, nope, you have to revise. You're not doing this until you revise. So it was like, okay, I had to revise because my mum was making me revise, if you get me. Motivation. I would think, right, I'm gonna have a really nice shower once I read this page. Like, it was that kind of thing. I just had to give myself stuff in order to revise. I was like, alright Evie, you can go order that new foundation if you go do 2 pages of an essay. Like, it was just that kind of thing. That was the only really way I motivated myself. You know what, I don't know how I motivated, I know how I motivated myself. Okay, when I was really, really unmotivated, like, I mean fully unmotivated, didn't want to do anything, I would go watch, like, the study YouTubers, that community, if you get me. I would watch their study with me, is because they would do like 12 hours of revision a day, and I was like, wow, I can do that. I'm gonna go do 12 hours of revision, even though it's 9 o'clock at night, like I've done no revision yet, I'm gonna go revise. But like, just watching them would make me feel like I needed to revise, because I saw how much they were doing. I was like, oh my god, I am not doing that much, I need to go revise. So that would kind of motivate me to, like, it would give me that last push if I was really just like unmotivated. So that's probably how I would say I stayed motivated. Food and study YouTubers. Okay, what is your favourite and least favourite subject, and why? Least favourite subject? Physics. I hate physics with a passion. I'm sorry to all those who love physics, but it does not make any sense. Physics I have never understood, and I mean never. I don't know whether it's because I've had bad teachers. I mean, I had a good teacher in year 7 and that was it. So I don't know whether I can blame it on teachers for A, making me unmotivated to do it, but also teaching me really badly and making me not understand. No shade to the teachers there. I hate physics so much. I really struggle with it. I have to put so much extra effort into doing physics. Yeah, it's not a good one for me. It's probably my worst subject, not gonna lie. My favourite subject was definitely dance, because it was so much fun. Like, I could just be chilled, like, I had my friends, I really liked the teachers, which kind of helped, but also it's just really chilled, and also there's music, and I live for music, so there was always music on in the background, which I loved. So yeah, dance was definitely my favourite. But if you mean academics, my favourite was probably maths. I mean, I'm not the best at maths, but it's something like you have to like work stuff out to do it, and I don't really know. I just really liked Pythagoras theorem and trigonometry, not gonna lie. How do you stay organised throughout the school year? Okay, so not just exam time. Organisation, I do have a whole video that I did last year on like school organisation, but like staying organised for school, I wasn't the most organised person. Like, I put out this video on how to be organised. Did I stick to it? No, I didn't. I was really, really bad at remembering to hand in homework. Like, I would do the homework, usually, depending on the subject, but then I would just forget. Or it would be the night before and someone would message me like, what did you do for the geography homework? And I'd be like, oh god, I forgot this geography again. Like, geography was the one I always forgot about, and really bad. But staying organised, use your planner. That's all I can really say. Like, if you use your planner and you remember to do things, then you'll remember, like, you'll get things done. I just never looked at my planner when I used it, so that didn't really help. And by the end of the year, I'd never wrote anything in my planner, so then I forgot what homework I had, and I'd be messaging everyone like, oh my god, what is this and what is this? But I do have a whole video on organisation down below if you want to try and stick to it, which I didn't do. What should I do? I'm going into a new class with no one I know but an old best friend. Okay, so an old best friend. Okay, well, obviously this is a similar situation to what I explained before, but you actually do know someone. Okay, this old best friend if you like are still friendly with them, I would say like maybe try and have a chat with them, see if you can be partners or whatever, sit near them. If you're not on good terms, I would say just avoid them completely. Like obviously there's a reason you're not friends with them, so, and again, just go in confidently and try and make new friends with people, because that is the only way you will ever get anything done. That sounded really harsh. Answered that already. How do you have confidence in performing arts in school in general? Okay. Confidence. Now that's a big thing. Performing arts, I feel like it's so much easier to be confident because you're not yourself, or you're telling a story. You're not actually being yourself, you're portraying something, you're trying to show something through movement. So I feel like it's easier to be confident then, because you just have to think, I'm not myself, and you just have to go through it. Obviously it is scary, like when we have to perform in front of our whole class, like that was scary. Have to try and get through it. Your heart will be beating, like your hands will be sweaty, but you've just got to like focus, keep your eyes up, just don't look at people. That is what I did. I just didn't look at anybody, and if I didn't look at anybody, I was fine. I would remember what I was doing. As soon as I made eye contact with the teacher, a friend, like just anybody in my class, I would completely forget what I was doing. Say, if you're someone like that, like you're fine until you make eye contact. Just don't make eye contact. The more you do it, the more confident you'll get, and that's all I can really say, is just keep practicing doing it in front of other people, and then you will feel more confident. Confident in school in general, I feel like it's quite a hard one, depending on like who you are. I feel like that really plays a part in it. Like if I say the popular people at school, they all seem to be really confident. I'm sure there were those who really didn't feel confident, but because they were the popular people, they could get away with saying things other people maybe wouldn't say, or doing things that people wouldn't do, and it just made them seem confident because of it, when maybe really it was just their like status, which wasn't really a status. So I would say if you're like part of the popular group, like no shade against you, you're just being you. If you get, I don't want to throw shade to anybody, but like, yeah, like I feel like if you're in the popular group, it's easier to seem confident because you've got all these people like backing you up, and it's just expected, I guess I would say. Whereas like for me, I was kind of like in the middle, generally liked by most people, if you get me. So I mean, just try and be yourself. Yeah, just try and be yourself. Surround yourself with people who are like you, who you get along with, and then that will make you feel so much more confident. When I was around my friends, I was like my best self. Like I could be confident around other people, I could go talk to teachers, whereas if I was by myself or with people who I wasn't really that I didn't get on with that well, I just didn't feel confident and I couldn't be confident. So that's what I would say, is just surround yourself with people who you get along with well and who make you feel good. Okay, there's a lot of questions about confidence, so I'm gonna carry on, but we've had to have a lighting change. Yeah, it's a bit dodgy now, isn't it? Okay, so how to be confident in yourself and not care what others think. Okay, confident in yourself, try and like make yourself look the way you want. Like obviously you can't change certain things like your eyes or your nose, but if you're feeling really self-conscious about something like your skin, I mean, most people really don't care like about your skin. They don't see a difference in that. But if you feel really like self-conscious about your skin, like try and do something about it. Wear foundation if you want to, or try a new skincare product, like that kind of thing. That will help you feel confident in yourself, because if you feel like you look good, you feel confident. Like I'm telling you, if you've had a good makeup and hair day, you leave the house thinking, yes, like look at me. Whereas if you've had like a bad skin day, like you've had a breakout, your hair's messy, then you leave the house feeling like nobody look at me, don't even talk to me. Like if you make yourself feel good, then you're gonna feel more confident, and like I'm telling you, that is just true. But like not caring about what others think, I feel like that just comes with practice. I like to say like I don't care what other people think. Generally I don't, but there are obviously some situations where I'm like do care what people think. Like in a way, I want people to like me, I want people to think I'm a good person, but at the same time like I don't care if people look at me and think, ew, that outfit's ugly or your hair looks bad. Like I got over that when it came to year 11 and I went to school like looking terrible, like yeah. So I would just say like literally with experience, different situations, you're going to feel more confident than others. Like once you've spent a lot of time with people at school, you're probably going to realise that actually they literally don't care what you look like. They're not going to see you in 50 years time and think, oh my god, do you remember that Evie girl, like her hair was terrible on Monday the 6th of January 2004. Like, let your personality shine through. Don't worry about your face, your body, like anything. Nobody cares. Yeah, just be you, you know? That's what, I don't know, that's a really bad description. How can you be confident for presentations and not stress about school homework? Okay, presentations. After doing presentations, I've often had people say like, oh my god, that was like really good, you seem so confident, when really, when I did my GCSE speaking, I could not see a thing. And I mean, I didn't have my eyes shut, my eyes were twitching, no one could see my eye twitch, and then I like blacked out, I couldn't see anything, and I was talking, like looking around like this, couldn't see a thing. Like when I get really nervous, I get really nervous doing like presentations and stuff, I black out, like I literally can't see a thing. Luckily I knew what I was saying and didn't need to look at my words because I couldn't see. And then I sat down, like I was shaking, but everyone said I wasn't shaking. Like it was really weird. Like I felt I was so nervous, but apparently I didn't come across nervous. I don't know. What am I saying? I'm going off track again. Confident in presentations. Okay, right. What I would say is breathe. And also what I did before going up, it helped that I had like a friend or friends. So when I had to go up and do my like speech, I kind of had a little joke with my friends. I was like, oh, and luckily I liked some of the people in my class. So like the people who I had to talk to were like helping me chill out as well. Like we were just like having a little conversation as I walked up and the teachers were finishing off and the last person. So like not everyone was just focusing on the fact that you're doing your speech. So then when I had to do the presentation, I did feel a bit more relaxed because I was like, right, I like these people. Well, okay, that's debatable. But like I have support from everyone watching and the teachers. You don't have many friends in your class that you're doing the presentation to, or you're doing a presentation to people you literally don't know. Before going to do it, just do something that chills you out. So for me, something, if I'm really nervous, I keep a hair bubble on my wrist and I just secretively just fiddle with a hairband, try to just take my mind off of it. You don't want to be nervous, just do something, breathe, like literally breathe, because if you don't breathe, you're going to sound more nervous firstly because your voice is going to be shaking. But also, if you don't breathe, your like body is trying to get more air in and then you shake and then you get more nervous. So breathe. If you know what you're doing, you're going to feel so much more confident than if you literally put it all together the night before and then you're like, oh wow, I don't know any of this off by heart, I don't know anything. Like, that's all I can really say, to be honest, on confidence in presentations. Oh, that was the last question. Oh, cute. I know this has been such a long video, but I had quite a lot of questions. I want to try and answer as many as possible, and I hope that I have managed to help you guys out, because there were questions that you guys have asked, so I wanted to try and answer them in as much detail as possible to help you guys out. But yeah, I hope that you enjoyed this video and it helped you guys out, and I will see you all soon with another back to school video. Bye!